Hey guys, welcome back. For today's video, we are going to be talking about a conspiracy theory. I'm going to be talking with you guys about Havana Syndrome. I had never heard of this until I did some research on it and found it on the conspiracy subreddit. If you're anything like me and you really enjoy reading about just sketchy things that are happening in the world, conspiracies, UFOs, aliens, Reddit's got it all. This conspiracy theory I thought was really interesting. It has to do with the Cuban government being accused of targeting US embassies. I shouldn't even say US. It was multiple countries with embassies in Cuba that accused the Cuban government of using spy tactics and radio frequency waves to deliberately cause harm to diplomatic officials that were working in these US embassies. So yeah, I'm not gonna ramble. Let's just go ahead and get into it. Havana Syndrome was first reported in 2016 when multiple workers at US and Canadian embassies started to complain about some really strange symptoms that they were having. Symptoms included but weren't limited to ringing in ears, pain throughout the body, hearing loss, memory loss, nausea, dizziness, headaches. One worker described feeling intense pressure in both of her temples and a low humming noise. These are just a few of the symptoms that these embassy workers were beginning to experience.
The most terrifying experience of my life. I had no control.
The symptoms were progressively getting worse with me. My headaches were getting worse. The most concerning symptom for me was memory loss.
Intense pressure on both of my temples. At the same time, I heard of this low humming sound.
That's a little bit weird, right? These government officials working in the same place and they're all experiencing a wide variety of these really strange symptoms. Word got out about this mysterious illness that all of these embassy workers were experiencing. The media went crazy.
News has learned a sonic attack in Cuba last year.
The mysterious syndrome makes headline news.
Explanations ranged from a high-tech attack by a nefarious government
tells the New York Times the main culprit
Theories
is likely
fly.
some kind of microwave
The
weapon.
FBI is now investigating.
The story went straight to US embassy workers being targeted by Cuban spies, Cuban government. So a lot of media outlets reported that microwave radiation and signals were being used to spy on workers, and that all of these symptoms that these workers were experiencing were just a side effect of these espionage tactics. Obviously, the Cuban government came out and completely denied any accusations of espionage or surveillance that they were doing. This really opened the door for a lot of speculation and a lot of conspiracies and just people wondering what was going on and what was causing these people to experience such illness. So one theory that people believe is that people were experiencing these symptoms was because it was a biological side effect of surveillance technology that was used to spy on communication and people within this embassy. It wouldn't be the first time in history that countries have used techniques to try to spy on one another. I mean, obviously, that's something that has happened for years and years, so it's not totally out of the ordinary to think that this could be a tactic to try to spy on US and Canadian government officials. I mean, I see where people are coming from. I mean, obviously, it is very strange that all of these workers are experiencing these same symptoms and all becoming sick within the same area. As of right now, there are over 200 documented claims of Havana Syndrome, with most of the cases being in the US, which is part of the reason that a lot of people believe that it is a targeted attack, is because so many people from the US are the ones who are experiencing these symptoms. And it is a bit of a coincidence that a majority of these workers are all people that are from the US that are in a foreign territory. It does kind of raise some red flags and a little bit of suspicion, so I definitely see where people could come up with some conspiracies around it and believe that it could be a malice and espionage type of tactic. Another theory that scientists actually believe is that it is not any type of radio frequencies or microwave radiation that is causing these symptoms, but in fact just mass hysteria. If you don't know what mass hysteria is, it's basically a concept that is a group of people all experience like similar symptoms, and they begin to psychologically believe that everyone is experiencing the same disease. We've seen this a few times throughout history. You feel like you are ill just because you are near somebody that's ill, or because somebody else is experiencing symptoms that you just assume that since you're there as well that you would be experiencing them too. So the Cuban government actually did their own investigation, and they came to the conclusion that it was not any type of malice, espionage, that it was actually crickets, bugs that make the little chirping noise. So after much testing and research, they came to the conclusion that a specific type of cricket that is local to the Havana area was actually what was to blame for the side effects that people were having.
And what the biologists found is that the sounds that were recorded in Havana matched precisely that of one particular kind of insect, the Indies cricket. And moreover, this particular Indies cricket is resident in Cuba.
Don't really have too much experience with crickets, but a couple years back we did have a cicada uprising or whatever. They're annoying, they're loud, and they're disgusting. So if I had to listen to that all the time, 24/7, I'd probably lose my mind too. And then the last theory that people believe regarding Havana Syndrome is that it is not the result of any government at all, but in fact, aliens. Yes, aliens using their extraterrestrial technology to spy on us, study us. Who knows? From what I could research, there wasn't any correlation between anybody who experienced these symptoms and claiming to see UFOs or any type of extraterrestrial life. So as far as that theory, I don't think that there's much weight to it. So to this day, there's still not a definite answer for why these people were all experiencing these wide range of really strange symptoms. The US never was able to conclude why Havana Syndrome, what it came from, what caused it. Many believe it to just be a hoax, and that it is the product of just a psychological illness, and that there's really no science to back it. I wouldn't put it past any government to try to spy on other countries. I mean, obviously that's happened before, and it probably happens now. Not like the most far-fetched theory to think that this would be something that could happen or that did happen. I don't know, like it's one of those that leaves me wondering what you guys think. Do you feel like it was a case of espionage? Do you think that it was a targeted attack on government officials? Or do you think that it was just a case of mass hysteria? Or do you think it was aliens? Do you think that it was crickets, cicadas? Which annoying bug do you think it was? That's all that I have for you guys today. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time. Bye.